Welcome to The Crunch, the only podcast that's going to read more books and use less social media in 2024. It's your boy, Ethan.
And I'm Patrick. Oh boy. That's our New Year episode. It's just
Yeah, that's it. It's done. We don't have to do any resolutions.
That's what we're doing.
I really
That's
feel like
all
I just
we're
need to
doing.
use, I just got to use less social media. I just feel like
I really got to get off my phone.
I'm too much with the phone. Stupid resolutions. Ridiculous. Have some gumption. Please.
Or if you're gonna get off your phone, I challenge you to get off your phone without telling everybody about it.
Yes.
Reducing screen time is the CrossFit of social media.
It's true. Yeah.
Homeboy wrote a whole article about how he was leaving. This priest who deleted his social media wrote a whole article about why he did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, no one is going to miss you.
Cares.
I'm sorry. Yeah. This is just how social media is.
Yeah.
I forgot that I followed you and now you're gone. And it's okay. And that is good because we will all die eventually. It's not a bad thing.
Posting the stack of books that you're going to read in 2024 is the equivalent of like posting your first workout at the gym in the first week of January. It gets you all the attention and all the dopamine, and then you don't have to read the books. That's the key thing. Maybe I'll do this.
The reward. Yeah.
I'm gonna collect. This is actually would be funny is if I just got a bunch of Peter's books, like a bunch of board books, and just put this is my reading list for 2024. That actually would be funny.
Read 100 books.
You're gonna read 100 books, but it's a very hungry caterpillar over and over and over again.
Toddlers setting their New Year's goals. I'm gonna read 100 books, but it's brown bear forever.
Yeah. Yes, dude. The foot. I swear. I talked about this in the bonus show, but the foot book. I can't handle the foot book anymore.
I wasted my hilarious foot book joke on the bonus podcast. It's locked behind a paywall. No one is there. Forever. I saw it on the list of Dr. Seuss books on the back of Leo's books, and I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to do with this.
That sounds really
this
suspicious.
Is great material.
Yeah.
Guy who reads the foot book and sees a bunch of illustrations. Dang
it!
But rip off.
I was lied to. These booksellers, man.
What's the difference between the foot book and WikiFeed? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, do we have WikiFeed accounts?
I don't know if you create an account on WikiFeed. I think you just get posted there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You definitely don't create an account. Like you definitely don't. Yeah, like to rank other people's feet, you don't do that. I don't know anybody that would do that. I think your dogs would be out from the Holy Land trip. That would be the only way people would see your dogs. Yeah.
That is just true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast.
We're back.
We're back. We were on a little bit of a break, and during
like
that
Ross
break,
and Rachel
things have happened.
Yes.
Like Ross and Rachel.
Yes.
We were on a break.
I made out with another podcaster at a club. On accident.
No, you didn't. You didn't hang out with anybody. So we've been on a break for the last 2 months. Took some much needed rest and recharge. But now we're back to our regular posting schedule of Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. Ethan and I have talked a lot about, where the direction of the podcast, where things are going, how to get in front of more people. For those of you who are new, perfect time to join because
welcome.
We're back and posting regular episodes. If you're new, Ethan and I met podcasting. Our entire friendship is encapsulated in these 7 years of episodes. We've been podcasting for 7 years together, doing this podcast about Catholicism. And it's a podcast about Catholic life where we make jokes and goof off.
Yeah. What more could you need?
What more could you want?
Yeah. I'm pleased with
every year, for those who are new and are wondering why the title is the weird title that it is. In our first, way back in 2018, Ethan was like, "This is going to be the year of Ethan." Much like this year, it's going to be the year of Ethan.
That. Yeah, we'll get to that.
He said it was 20 great teen.
20 great teen.
Since then,
and 2018 was actually a really good year for me.
It was a good year.
The prediction rang true. But then in every subsequent year, when we do a podcast about our New Year's episode where we kind of predict and have some resolutions and those types of things, we just did 20 great teen, then we did 20 great 19, 20 great 20, and now it's 20 great 24.
24, which is
This is really a mouthful. But what can you do?
It only gets funnier every year.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to talk about my upcoming year with you because I do believe this is the
Yeah.
year of Ethan. I've been kicked much like sort of a dog.
Oh,
Well, like, sorry,
have
you
you?
shouldn't kick dogs.
Much like I kick dogs, I've been
No,
kicked.
you should. I've been kicked like a dog that should be loved and treasured, but is actually being kicked currently. That's how I feel.
That's so sad.
I've been
I'm sorry.
treated this year. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anyone should kick a
I
dog.
do.
Can I just say that out loud, real quick?
Can I just say something strong and brave? I don't think dogs should.
Let me rewind. There is a situation in which my neighbor kicked a dog the other day, but it was a pit bull that was running towards him and his two daughters, and he kicked it in the mouth, and then it
You
ran
may
away.
kick a pit
So
bull.
you may kick a pit bull as a
Dollar.
treat. You may kick Mr. Worldwide if he is rushing towards you and your family on all fours. You can kick him in the head. Oh man. He's a musical Mr. Clean, is what I call him.
It is indeed.
So 2023 was a really tough year for me. It was really hard. We had a lot
It
of
was difficult.
at the beginning, just to set the scene. Last year at this time, I had just had a sudden job change that was not expected. I had a 1-month-old child. Actually, yeah, on this day exactly. I had a 1-month-old child. We were about to go to Seek, so we were about to travel 7 hours in the car with the 1-month-old child that was not sleeping. And I had to find a job in the early days of 2023. And we were building a house that I didn't know if I was going to be able to afford and move into. And
Crazy.
Which is it's just kind of it's just dumb that I did that the way that I did, but
here
we're
you
here.
are.
We're here. I feel so much better about this year, and I'm so excited to share and learn and grow.
Internet.
I have fiber internet now, and it's so fast. I played Fortnite. I lost, but it was quick. You know, it was like
I lost so quickly.
I lost so quickly. You know,
the ping was 7.
The ping was 7. The latency was incredible. It's insane how fast I've lost. So,
and we have new equipment. That's another big thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
We're no longer podcasting on our phones. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for me to upload my silly little file.
Oh, I'm so glad. That's the one thing. If on your New Year's resolution it's not like upload things immediately as soon as Ethan asked me to upload them, then it's a bum list, and we need to. It's a misdeal.
No longer the year of
we gotta do it again.
Oh man!
But do you want to just get right into the resolutions, or you got more to share?
Yeah. So I was thinking about the episode, and I was like, okay, what do we do? I have a little phone stand.
Do you get that for Christmas?
I did get it for Christmas. I got it. I didn't know that I needed it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect because it was like I needed a place for show notes, but my computer is being used by the podcast, and so I don't want to pull up things on my computer.
My podcasting machine is occupied.
My podcasting machine is occupied. I was like, what do I do? Oh, and the other thing I want to do is I want to when we go on interviews. By the way, I have a fun little surprise for you. I don't know if you know about this yet.
You scheduled an interview without telling me?
I did.
No,
I did.
What? Anytime Patrick is a fun little surprise, it means work for me that I'm not ready.
You're gonna like this. You're gonna like.
Okay, what is it?
So,
Who is it? Tell me now.
It's an EWTN interview.
Oh,
that's kind of fun, right?
Like we're on EWTN?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we're gonna go on EWTN this year.
You're lying. You're capping.
No, I'm not.
We're gonna be on. We're gonna be on Life on the Rock.
No, because we're not on the Rock. No, we're gonna be on the Catholic Sphere. It's a younger with Ryan. I think you know Ryan.
Yeah, I've met Ryan. He's cool.
Yeah. So we're going on EWTN this year. So that's gonna be fun.
Like on TV?
And I don't know if it's on TV.
Do I need to get makeup done?
I think you might. Christina Everett was on this show, so that was kind of cool.
Do I get an IMDb page?
I think you do. I think this means you qualify. I think this means that we can. I think this. The funny thing is, I have memorized all of the things that qualify for Twitter verification. So you used to have to have 3 like TV news appearances or credits and byline credits in major news organizations within the last 6 months. And America Magazine, I was 1 month away. for having 3 bylines in 6 months in America Magazine and getting verified on Twitter. But now that doesn't matter anymore. So that's
you
cool.
can just buy it. You can just buy it, which was always true. It was always, if you have enough money, you may get verified.
That was always the case.
Now they've just democratized it. So we're gonna be on the TV. That's exciting.
Yeah, and so I got
why
this so that I don't know. They DM'd us.
okay.
They want to talk to us about. Yeah, they want to talk to us. I guess.
Okay,
but that's the thing, right? This is part of the year of.
This is
truly the year of the crunch.
No, you added on another.
It's just the year of Ethan.
You've had a year.
Doesn't your success mean success for the podcast? This is actually part of my predictions for you, which we'll get to at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But I also have this so that when I do an interview, I can record it separately for Instagram.
Nice. Yeah. That's a good call. Yeah. I think you're very smart. I think you're very talented. I think your little phone stand is going to be great for you this year.
Yeah, I'm just very excited. I would like to thank my cousin Chris.
It does look a bit like an Oscar.
who got me this phone stand for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I used it immediately after I got it. Thank you.
And last thing, if you're not watching on YouTube, Patrick just did a little visual bit, but if you're not watching on YouTube, I have shelves up now. These were kind of my Christmas present because I built them with a saw that my father purchased for me.
You built those?
Yeah, I built these. That's cool. This here is a pine, 3/4 inch by 6 inches and a 4-foot board, and I cut it into 2 feet boards, and with the jigsaw T-shank blades, and stained them, sanded them, and then put little tchotchkes on them. And so if you, I'm gonna get what?
You're not from the Midwest.
Oh dear. If I will, I am going to get a PO box set up so that anybody, and you should do the same thing. Like when you get your studio we're going to get PO boxes set up, one in Florida, one in Oklahoma. And then if you want to send stuff for us to put on the walls or put on the shelves, you can.
Should I unfurl that poster of Nick Nevy?
I think it should stay furled, actually. Because because if I see Nick, then I'm going to be thinking about things that are not appropriate for a man to be thinking about during a podcast.
Plus, that's him when he was 17. So
no, I take back my last sentence.
You can't. This is my little brother Nick's room, and he has they started doing the. Have you noticed this with high school sports? They make the kids into posters. I don't think that's good for high schoolers. I don't think they should be.
My brother-in-law has his football poster up. It's been up in the kitchen from before when I started dating my wife. They had a door that they covered over, and they've not finished it. And so and it's been 5 years. And in that whole time, they've just left Matt's football senior poster up. And so it's the first thing you see every time you go over there. You just open the door from the garage, and it's just
he the youngest?
18-year-old Matt. He's the middle kid.
Oh, good for him. That's a win for middle kids everywhere.
I know. Everywhere. Shout out, Matt.
That's huge.
You're doing great.
All right. So I thought it would be good for us to go over our resolutions.
Yes.
And then I have a question that I would like your opinion on. And then at the end, I want to do predictions for 2024.
Okay. Great.
I have a prediction for my life, for your life, and then for the life of the world. And I would like you to do the same for your life, for my life, and then just a general 2024 prediction. All right.
I love it.
Okay. First of all, I want to ask you, Ethan, if you've given thought to this, what do you want your 2024 to look like? Now that we're back from the break.
Kind of, I was thinking 366 24-hour periods, alternating night and day, depending on the position of the moon and the angle of the earth.
I don't think the moon determines the length of the day.
Shut up. It does.
Moon comes out during the day sometimes, which I never understood. Go on. Explain that.
No, what do you mean? I don't understand the question.
What do you want to change? What do you want to improve?
Well, I have
what do you want to be different?
I have 3 points here. Do you want me to get into my points?
I want you to get into your points.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if you wanted something different than my points. I think the first one for me, this is a big one, is I want to connect. We're going to get serious right away. So I want to connect I guess I could start with my funny one. If that's would you rather me do that?
A funny one.
I did one funny one and 2 serious ones. It's like 2 truths and a lie. but they're all true. I'll start with my funny one. So this, I wrote it down. It says, use my raw animal strength, parentheses, make it happen. Why are you laughing? What's funny about that?
I like that. That's funny.
Yeah. Because I've been thinking about how there's a ton of things in my life where all it takes for something to exist is for me to just do it.
Just do
This
the
is
thing. Yeah.
this is a really interesting. It's all about agency, and a lot of times I feel like I rob myself of agency because I think, oh, I don't have time for that, or because of X, Y, and Z, I'm unable to do that, or because I don't have enough time, or it's too hard, or this person's tried it already and it's not going to work. But like obviously, I built shelves. You know,
You did.
I can,
Yeah.
as long as I apply my raw animal strength, my kind of beast. I kind of have like a beast inside of me, maybe that sometimes he comes out, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I make the shelves. But I'm thinking about
like Skillet inside. There's a
Mhm.
monster.
Right.
I feel like a
I feel like
Did
a
you have a Skillet
monster.
phase? Did you have a Skillet
I
phase in high school?
I had a song of Monster by Skillet was my phase. I just listened to that song.
That was the song?
Yeah, yeah. Um, so for example, one of my goals for Q1 2024 is why are you what's nice about that?
I think it's funny that you said Q1. Continue.
Yeah, it's in the first 3 months, whatever you want to say. But I've talked to so many guys here in Oklahoma City that are young, able-bodied, fun to be around, physically active, uh, and want to play basketball. And there's all these Catholic guys scattered within like a 30-minute radius of me. And they're all like, "Man, I wish there was a group of Catholic guys that played basketball." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too." And everyone kind of says this, but then they're like,
Yeah.
we don't know when we would do it, and where would we play? All
All
it's
you
going to
need are
take,
6 dudes that wanna play basketball.
yes. But the goal is like, I need to collect all of these guys like Pokemon and put them in my little phone, put them in a Discord, and talk to the priest and say, "Hey, I've got, 25 young dads and young adult men that want to play basketball at your church at a time when the gym is not in high demand, like Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Like,
Mhm.
let me come and play in your gym." And then just do it. And then retrieve the key, copy the key late at night, like Night at the Museum, and then let myself in whenever I want and play basketball. That's what I want to do. It's like, that's something that exists. That's like, okay, if I just call people and I call the right
Yep.
people and I just put some concerted energy towards it over the course of like 3 weeks, I can get a basketball group up and running. But it's just one of those things I know would be really good for me. I know it would be really good for a lot of other people, but it just hasn't happened because everyone's like, if only this existed. But it really is just going to take someone to do it. And it might
Yeah.
as well be me. So I'm going to use my beast inside of me
Yeah.
to get that done. Amongst other
You're gonna
things. That's
be
just
the
one
beast.
example. Yeah.
Okay,
And that's
I
true
like
for
that.
like community, getting involved at the parish, doing things around the house. Like, it just takes energy and time to get something
Yeah.
done. And I want to acknowledge that that's the reality in more situations, because this comes up a lot. And so, um, is that too general? I feel like that's fairly
No,
specific.
that's good.
Yeah.
No,
Cool.
'cause mine is pretty general too.
Yeah.
It's less about the beast inside of
Uh-huh.
me,
Yeah, because you
and
don't
it's
have one.
more
The beast inside of you looks a lot like me, I will say.
it's just a skinny little guy.
Yeah, it's a
He's
skinny
flopping
little
around in
guy.
there.
That's like, I'm the type of guy who, if you and me were in like a buddy comedy and we were being threatened by a group of vagabonds or vagrants, I'd turn to you and
Sure.
I'd say, "Hold me back." And then I would kind of swing at them, listlessly with like, with a big mouth. That would be kind of
Yeah.
our dynamic, I think.
Yeah, I think our problem with our buddy cop dynamic is that neither of
Yeah,
us it
our
like
cops.
you can't like be the tall and fat guy. You have to be like the short fat guy and the tall skinny guy, you know?
That's not true.
There's You don't think that's true?
No, Monsters Inc.
That's fair. Do you think
Sully is a
I'm Sully
big.
and you're Mike Wazowski?
I fancy myself a bit of a Mr. Waternoose, if I will say.
Have you noticed how far they go with the Mike Wazowski's always covered up bit? On the credits
What do you mean?
scene, Mike
Oh,
Wazowski is always
yeah.
covered.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
the
yeah.
on the on the DVD, the sticker was over
It
his
covered him
face.
up. Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
funny.
then on the credits on Disney Plus
Yeah.
covered his face. It's so funny.
I
Anyway,
saw I
sorry.
saw a video I saw a video, this is real quick, on Instagram of someone had taken Mike and Sully, and they did the Gritty song over it, and it was, like, Boo and Mike and Sully doing the Gritty in, like, the factory
Yeah.
to the lyrics of the song, and they were all like it was like a music video. Um, and a lot of times I think it just made me think, I was like, "Huh, some people think that the internet is like Facebook, but that's not the internet. Mike Wazowski doing the Gritty while Boo smokes weed is the internet." You know? You
That's the real internet.
that's what people that's what the priests and the boomers in charge over at the Vatican don't get about the digital continent, you know?
No,
They
that
lack
is so
understanding.
true. That's so
Yeah,
real. It's that what they
yeah,
don't understand is that the internet is
yeah.
goofy little trends.
Goofy little trends. Okay, on to
Okay,
your thing now.
I want to gain more. I know this is an
Followers?
unquantifiable thing. I want to bigger number, better person. I want to
Yeah.
gain more mastery over my emotions.
Ooh.
I this is a long time ago. Phoebe and I were like, "Oh, what are like the things that we want to work on?" And I was like, "I need to work on humility." And I think I just said that because it's like an easy thing
Sure.
because like
Because
everyone
you
needs to
always
work on humility.
it's always true. Yeah.
It's like an easy thing to say. But I think constancy and emotional uh detachment is the name of the game for me. You
Mm,
know,
yeah.
my emotions not acknowledging emotions then letting them pass. Like not letting the emotion affect my action. You're saying like
Yeah.
just doing the thing.
Right.
I think the emotions are what keeps me from doing the thing. The fear, the anxiety, that's mostly the two big ones, and
Right.
those are the same
Yeah.
thing. The
Yeah.
anxiety,
Yeah.
um, stopping me from doing things, um, the paralysis, right? I think just like acknowledging that those are emotions and
Mhm.
that they don't say anything. They're a prediction about what's going to happen. They're
Yeah.
not an accurate forecast, right? And so I think that's something that's something that I want to get over is like letting my emotions dictate my actions.
Mhm.
Instead, I'm just going I want to develop the habit of saying, "All right, I'm the kind of person who feels an emotion and then says, "Cool.
Right.
That's an emotion that I have. Moving on."
Yes. Yes. It's so hard to let your intellect be in control all the time, which is it's
It's
like if
almost impossible. Your
it's
intellect is very
crazy.
weak. Yeah.
It's crazy to get through a whole day. You know, like when you're laying in bed at night or you're like on the drive home from work and you're just like thinking about all the stuff that you did and you're like, man, I should have done this, this, and this, and this, and this. Or I
Yep.
can't believe I wasted so much time on this, this, and this. And like looking back, it seems so clear. Like, I don't know why our intellect only works in arrears. You know,
I
like
know.
we
Yeah.
only look back and we're like, oh man, if I could go back 24 hours, I would. But it's not like that much has changed in between when you woke up and when you're driving home. And so it's wild that we have such a hard time thinking about what we're going to do
Well,
and
yeah,
then
it's
doing
because
it
of the way the intellect
regardless.
it's because of the way the intellect and the will work, right? The
Yeah.
intellect and the will have this kind of buddy cop relationship,
Right.
you know? The
Yeah.
intellect is the tiny guy and the
Okay.
will is the big guy, you
Okay.
know? It's
Nice.
like we're Kronk and Yzma. That's who it is. That's
Yeah.
that's who it
And
is.
I
You're a
don't
little
like that
skinny lady.
I don't
I'm a
know,
big
well, but I'm kind of like not a I'm kind of a guy is the
we're
thing
okay,
about me.
fine. Then we're Kronk and Kuzco.
I
That's who
think
we
Kronk and Kuzco, it's crazy that you went straight for Kronk and Yzma. That's so mean. Hey, Ethan, I've been meaning to say this. I'm worried about your complexion. Oh, why do I have acne? No, no, no. You're just gray. You're just
You're just
gray.
purple.
You're just gray and purple, and you just pull levers constantly, and you tried to poison someone, and I'm
Yeah.
worried about you. It's like, oh, I could
Laugh.
get on Accutane, I guess.
I could move. I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying. The intellect proposes
Yeah.
to the will. Hey, we
Mhm.
should do this, and the
You're right.
will either desires it or doesn't. And virtue is when your intellect proposes the right thing and your will
It's
desires it. Like you
we're
need
Cusco and we're John Goodman? Who voices the John Goodman character?
Pacha,
Poncho, whatever his
Poncho,
name is. I don't know what his
Poncha.
name is, but the intellect and the will are like when they're tied together to the tree trunk and they're floating down the river. That's what the intellect and the will are like. It's like huge waterfall. Yep. Rocks on the bottom. Likely. Bring it on. That's what we need to be. We need to be. The will is like telling us, okay, here we go. We're coming up on these things. I'm going to choose to not do them. The intellect has to be like, bring it on, booyah. As we fall down. That's funny. We should watch that movie and do a commentary.
Dude, we
track on
we
it.
should watch that
because
movie.
apparently I'm 6 different characters in this film, and Patrick's just all of like the big, strong, fatherly characters, and I'm sort of the weak, sniveling.
Kronk is dumb.
Villainous
okay,
characters.
I made myself the dumb guy.
Yeah, but you're Putty from Seinfeld. You're Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
You're either Patrick Warburton or John Goodman, and I'm Kuzco and Yzma. Ridiculous.
I get my own movie.
You do, and your own spin-off show.
Again, that was the other that I told you how when we were growing up we only ever had sequels in the house.
Yeah.
Kronk's New Groove, we owned that, but I hadn't seen. I saw Kronk's New Groove like 5 times
the Emperor's
before I saw the Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
So imagine my surprise when I find out Kronk's the villain.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
this guy's so lovable.
That's the hero. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, that's the. Oh, and I saw the Emperor's New School, the TV show.
Yeah.
Before I saw the actual
that's what I
movie.
was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
That annoying little.
Do you remember
squeaker.
Cusco's Doodles from that show?
No, I'm sure if I saw a clip of it, it would all come rushing back. But
so for those of you who remember, the Emperor would do like a little. Cusco would do a little like a doodle session describing the plot of the show. I did Patrick's Doodles, and somewhere in my, I think
fun.
I threw them all away. I would staple a bunch of. I would staple a bunch. Well, some of them were a little homophobic. I'm just kidding.
What do you mean? What is Cusco? What is Cusco doing?
No. He's hate crimes.
Crimes.
I'm just kidding. That's a joke. But I would make a little book, and I would draw little like cartoons, stick figure cartoons in class.
Fun. I made those too. I made little comic books about a very strong guy whose name was Max, I believe, and he was a bit of a warrior, and he would fight dragons and giants and those types of things, which was good. My mom kept them. I think they're somewhere. If at the $50 a month Patreon tier, I will scan my old comics.
and I
want
to see them.
Yeah, I'll give them to you. Okay, so that's yours. You want to master your emotions.
Your next point? What's your next point?
My next point is I want to. I talked about this a bit on the bonus show over the last couple of weeks, but I want to accept the growth that God wants for me, and this kind of ties in with what you were saying about the anxiety and the stress. I've been listening to this podcast called Optimal Work by this guy, Dr. Kevin Majors. That's Majers. He's Catholic, clinical behavioral therapist, whatever. He's great. He has a lot of really great stuff about the biochemistry of anxiety and how to deal with it, which is really helpful for me because a lot of times I'm frustrated because I get in a situation and I'm like, I've done this, however many times, or I know that I can do this type of thing because I've done these other adjacent things. But for whatever reason, I'm struggling with this. Something very simple, like posting on LinkedIn freaks me out because there's something about my like coworkers and then like other people in my professional network seeing something that I write and then maybe reading different things into it, based on whatever their frame of reference is. Something about that just freaks me out. So I never post on LinkedIn because it scares me. But like, but I've said the most insane crap on Twitter you'd ever believe. You know what I mean? Like, so
let's be talking about this. Twitter is our peers and LinkedIn is like our professional network. And so it's like,
for whatever reason, I perceive LinkedIn is like going to the adults table and like trying to share a story, at Christmas. It's like, So like, but I feel anxiety about that thing. And so I think that there is an element of like, okay, God wants me to address that, right? He doesn't want us to leave anxiety unaddressed, because he says very clearly in the scriptures, do not be anxious about anything. And so it stands to reason that when we encounter anxiety, we need to work to remove the anxiety.
Stop. Yeah.
to to desensitize ourselves to the situation. So in that example, I think I need to be more okay with the fact that some people might not like me. Some people might not understand what I'm trying to say. And I might embarrass myself in front of people that I perceive to be more professional or more successful than I am.
Sure.
But like, if those things happen, oh well, like so I think I just need to start making the posts and making specific goals around that thing.
Yeah.
So that I can, because once I make 50 posts on LinkedIn, that won't exist anymore. So like trying to imagine myself, what if I did this every day for 100 days? I probably wouldn't be afraid. But like, what if I acted that way today?
Hyperion does connect to LinkedIn.
Does it really?
Yep.
Interesting.
So I've just
That's
been
fun.
in my tweets. I just schedule all the tweets, then I do one LinkedIn post a day. I've got them
Dang,
all
that's
scheduled,
great.
ready
I
to
didn't know
go.
that they do that. I should do that too.
Yep. And
So yeah,
you can auto post your tweets to LinkedIn if they do well.
cool.
That
Yeah.
wouldn't
So
be bad.
that's for me. It's like recognizing anytime I feel anxiety or anytime I'm avoiding a task, that it's probably something that God wants me to, an anxiety that God wants to take away from my life. And the
Yeah.
only way to deal with it is by charging straight at it. So
Just doing it. Yeah.
it's so silly, man. Being 27 is hard because you're like, I'm
No one likes you.
successful. I have a house, but I haven't really done anything.
I know.
You're like, what do I do? I've got like a family. I have a job. I have a career. But like, compared to some of the people that I talk to, I'm still so young. I'm still so early and everything. So it's like this
I
kind of
know.
weird, I'm in a Venn diagram of success and not
Yeah,
success.
I was talking. I told you I was on the phone with my boss earlier, and I was like, we were
Yeah.
talking about my year, and I was like, he was like,
Mhm.
yeah, so we got to talk about your goals for next year. I was like, I know, like it's been a tough year, and he's like, it's your first year,
Yeah.
you did great,
You did do great. We're all
know.
proud of you.
And he's like, if you do what you did every month, like he's like, if you have the exact same year next year, you
Mhm.
have 4 extra months because you've only been doing this for 8 months.
Right.
If you have the exact same year, you're gonna blow it out of the water.
Yes.
And I was like,
Boom.
that's fair. It's
Yeah.
like it's the emotions that I feel are not a
Mhm.
representation of reality. And instead of being like, I have imposter syndrome, just be
Yeah.
like, just all right. Oh, you feel this way? Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Doesn't mean
Right.
anything. Move on. You
Exactly.
know?
Yes. I like
uh
that.
my my next resolution is I want to collapse and expand the time frames that I
It's
think
just
in.
the little button in the top right of the window. So you just click the little minus sign and it'll collapse the window. And then if you click it
Huh?
again, it'll expand it back out for you. All right.
I'm
So my
going to
next one is
log off the podcast. Do you notice how it
sorry.
didn't autofocus when I did that?
No, it didn't. I cut you off. Say what you're gonna say
That's okay.
again.
I want to both
Just make a
collapse
joke.
and expand time frames. So like right now I
Yeah.
think on the horizon of weeks and months.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, how many, what did I do this week? How did our
Yeah.
episode downloads do this week? How did
Mhm.
our, all this stuff? What are my sales like this week? And then what are my
Right.
sales like this month? How many downloads did we get this month? Blah blah blah, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I want to those time frames are too nebulous, right?
Mm.
In my mind.
Yes.
They're too in the middle,
7 days.
and they create like a cycle of failure because you're not always going to reach your goal. And if you don't reach your goal, then you have a whole week or a whole month to reach your next target. And so
Mhm.
you're coming off you're coming off it works if you're coming off the high of a great month, then
Yeah.
you can
Right.
barrel into the next month. But it's hard to reset. And so what I want to do is I want to start thinking in terms of like 1, 2, 3 year time horizons and days. Like I want to
Mhm.
collapse the time frame into like I did everything I needed to do today. Like I did my daily tasks that are going to get me to where I want to be in a year or
Mhm.
or 3 months or a year or 2 years. I don't know how to think in years because I haven't been in the same spot for
For
years,
long enough. Yeah.
but I have been in the same spot for at least 3 months. So I know how to think in quarters. I know how to think in
Mhm.
half years. I know how to, so
Yeah.
I was talking to my boss about that because I was like, I want, where do I want to be in 5 years? I have no idea. The
Mhm.
last time I did something for 5 years straight was school.
Right.
And it was easy because where do I want to be in 5 years? Well, I'm in sixth grade. So
Yeah. Right.
11th grade.
Graduated. Yeah. I wanna have a car and I wanna smoke weed at prom. That's what I want.
Yep. That's what I
That's
did.
what Yeah, both of us said that.
Both of us smoked weed at prom.
Yeah. I agree with the goals, because expanding the horizon is great, because then, like, let's say, for example, in a given week, you want to make 100 calls, but let's say that week you only make 85. And so the week after that, naturally, you're like, well, I got to make 115 calls this week.
To make
And
up for last week.
let's say you only make 90, and then it's like, you like create this little debt to yourself that is almost impossible to dig out of unless you're crushing it, which happens sometimes. But let's say you have a great 3 months. Like, nobody, even the best salespeople in the world, or the best whoever at their job, nobody has like a great 12 months of work. Like, there are going to be peaks and valleys regardless, just based on your natural affectivity and the things going on in your life, how much sleep you're getting, if you have a kid, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on. And so I think, expanding the horizon smooths out some of those week to week like stresses that you apply to yourself.
Yep.
And then makes it easier to kind of chase after big stuff, because you're not so limited to a 5-day window or whatever.
Yep. It's like, I want to do the dials today. I want to do my hour of crunch time.
Crunch
today.
time.
You know,
That's fun. That's a fun little phrase, because people used
Yeah.
to say crunch time is bad, but what if we reclaimed it? What if we
crunch
made
time.
it's crunch time, and that's like a good thing? Ooh.
Yeah. And I think this will help, because it'll help us make. I don't know if you've experienced this with working on the podcast. A little bit of
Yes.
meta for the listeners, but it's like,
Mm.
oh gosh, we got to grow the podcast. All right, I'm just gonna sprint and do a bunch of things that may or may
Right.
not help the podcast.
I'm gonna make
right
15
now.
Instagram videos, which
it
is
just
great,
doesn't. It just
but but what does that
It's like
do?
slow and steady, right? It's
Yeah.
slow and steady. Yeah.
And that was kind of the purpose of the break, was to slow us down and think about, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make sure that we are, because the pace that we were at was not sustainable, I think, for a few different reasons. But it's not like, it wasn't not sustainable because of the amount of work. It was just not sustainable because not all of the efforts were leading towards where we wanted to go, And so
Yes.
now, took a break, step back, got some scaffolding under us. It's a bit more stable. And now it's like, each step that we take, we might be going slower, but like, each step is in the right direction, instead of taking 50 steps in a circle, which
Yes.
kind of felt like, and that's true. Yeah. In a lot of different areas. This is my last one. We're getting close on time here. We got to get to our predictions. My last one is, I want to connect my spiritual life to the rest of my life in a healthy way.
Cool.
I think I've talked about this.
Holistic approach.
Yeah. Well, just like an undivided life, to steal a phrase from my friend, Jeff Scheffelbein. The problem that I had when I was a salesperson in real estate was that my prayer was connected in an unhealthy way with my sales. So I was building this house. And I knew we were going to be able to afford it, but I just didn't know exactly how the pieces were going to fall into place. And so I kept pinning all my hopes on like one deal. If I sell this apartment complex, if I sell this piece of land, if I sell that, then that'll give us the money, and then we'll be good. And then we can go and we'll do the thing, and I don't have to worry about it. And so I would pray for the success of these deals, because I knew that God had led me to build this house for other reasons. And so I was like, okay, God, you've asked me to build this house because you want me to live in this community. I'm doing that because I trust you, even though I don't exactly know how it's going to work out. So surely one of these real estate deals is going to work. And then none of them worked. And then I just stopped praying, because I was like, well, friggin' man, you want me to go friggin' broke, and you want me to be a homeless man? Stupid. Like, I was upset.
Yeah.
So I stopped praying. But then I heard this story about Mother Angelica, and I'll tell this very quickly. But when Mother Angelica was starting EWTN, she needed this transponder. I don't know what it was, but she needed some type of radio. You would know, some type of device.
Needed a tower.
Yeah. She needed a tower. She needed a transmitter. She needed something. And it was $600,000 to purchase the part that she needed.
Not cheap back then.
Right. Mother Angelica had no money. And so she calls up the guy, and apparently it was like, the original price was like 1.5 million or something. And she haggled him down to $600,000, which is hilarious. And the guy's like, okay, she's like, deliver it. And he's like, do you have the money? She's like, God's going to provide. And so he brings it in on a truck. She doesn't have the money. So like, it's there, it's on the truck. And the guy's like, I have instructions from the dude that sold it to you that I can't get this off the truck until I have a check in my hand. Like, I can't. And she's like, well, let's go tour the facilities. Let's go walk around. And so she's like stalling for time, which is so funny because she has faith that God's going to provide. And while she's walking around with this guy, like showing him the Abbey or whatever, wherever they are, they get a phone call from some guy that was like, hey, I heard about what you're doing. I want to write you a check right now. And she's like, how much? She's like $600,000. And she's like, great. Can you wire it right now? And so they get the money wired. She writes the check and she pays for the transmitter thing and they get it off the truck. And that's how EWTN starts, which is ludicrous. And I keep thinking about that story and I'm like, man, I don't have any kind of faith that God can really act in my life in a meaningful way. Sometimes, like, I know that he's working inside of me and I know that he's trying to heal me of sin and all this stuff, but like my car just broke. So we're a 1-car family right now. Like, to me, I just want to be able to pray confidently, be like, God, please bring me a car in a way that I can like afford and in a way that is very clear that it makes sense for my family, you know? Because I know that I don't want to just go out and like buy some random car and spend a whole bunch of money. Like, I want to get a car for someone that I trust, that's going to be reliable, that I can afford. I don't want to get into debt for this car. And so it's like, but what? So why don't I just like ask God for however many days it takes until he like shows me very clearly, hey, here's the car that I want you to have, which sounds kind of like transactional, but I think I have not always asked him for those kinds of things. And I want to just be comfortable saying, God, this is what I need. We need 2 cars for this family so that I can, you know, Emma can do what she needs to do and I can do what I need to do. Just show me how that's going to happen. Like, I trust you to take care of it. Instead of thinking, oh, I have to make the money and I have to make the plan and I got to go into debt and I got to do this, which is not bad, to be prepared and to work hard and all that stuff. But I want to just rely on God more, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I wasn't sure what what spiritual resolution, but I experienced something similar in sales. I was talking about it in my men's group a couple weeks ago. I made a joke like, it was like, so how's your life spiritually? And I was like, well, I had a bad week at my day job. I didn't make as many sales as I wanted to. So naturally, I had a bad prayer life too. And my friend Javi, who's also in sales, was like, dude, yeah, no, that's exactly, I get that. And he's like, why am I like this? And I was like, it's the curse of Adam. All right. That's what it is. Our well-being is tied to our work. It shouldn't be. And it is the thing that we have to work through. And so we'll figure it out. I want to know your predictions. I want to know what you predict is going to happen for you, for me, and the world in 2020.
Did you all 3 of yours?
I have all 3. I didn't, but I said I take that third one.
You're piggybacking on
I'm just stealing it. Yeah,
that's fair. Well, you got to do your predictions first because you have yours planned out, and I need a moment to think. So
for my life, I think that either I'm going to do my first resolution or I'm going to develop some kind of heart condition. That's my 2.
Right.
That's my
Those
2.
are good.
Or some kind of stomach, like some medical condition. I think
herniated disc.
Herniated disc. No, seriously. Like I was sitting on my couch and I was like so stressed out and I started like feeling my heart skip and I was like, oh no. I need to go to the doctor.
That's not good. You can't. I don't know how I'm going to podcast with a dead guy. So I need you to figure it out, please. My weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's, but it's a podcast.
Podcast at Bernie's. They should do
podcast at Bernie's. Yeah.
So that's my prediction. Either I'm going to do my first resolution or develop some kind of serious medical condition.
Great.
My prediction for your life is I think that you this year will accidentally become famous for something unrelated to the podcast. I think you're going to accidentally, I think you're accidentally going to gain notoriety for something completely unrelated. I think your Twitter's going to skyrocket for some reason other than the podcast.
That's funny.
And then my real world prediction is that the clone they got to replace Joe Biden will die publicly. Like they're not going to be able to cover it up this time.
Like he's going to collapse on stage and you're going to see the light leave his eyes.
And they're going to be like, oh no, Joe Biden died. They're going to be like, yeah, for the first time. That's crazy.
Dang, you took my world prediction. That's not fair.
Really?
Well, it was going to be something about politics. My prediction for you is that you are going to you are going to take the first concrete steps towards building that community in Melbourne. And it's not going to be theoretical. You're going, like, there's going to be some type of land purchased. There's going to be some type of money exchange. There's going to be a commitment made, and you're going to make steps towards that. I think that'll happen this year.
Okay.
Do you disagree? Happen. You can see it
No,
happening?
I can see that happen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of energy around it. My prediction for me is that I think I'm going to get really into sort of building and constructing things, which I already am. But I built these shelves, and then instantly as I was done, I was like, "Oh, shelves would look good right there." Like I started just making like the next plan, which I never was like that before. I never.
You're gonna become a YouTube construction.
Yeah. Like I used to build stuff and be like, "Great, thank goodness that's done. I can put all my tools away until the next project." But now I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to. I need some storage. I got to do this." So I think I'm gonna become a project guy. And my prediction for the world, maybe this is a little bit of a wish fulfillment. Trump 2024, baby.
You think Donald Trump is going to get elected president in 2024?
Did you see what he said about the lemonade?
That wasn't real. I don't think that was real.
It was real. You could look.
It was real.
It was real.
It was a joke.
No, it's real,
no.
dude. The energy is unmatched.
We love the lemonade, didn't we? I can't believe he actually said that. I went through the time to put it into an AI translator because I didn't think he actually said it.
Right. The economy was better. We all had jobs, and the lemonade didn't kill you. It's like that's
so funny, man.
Funny.
That is so funny.
I just want some good debates. We gotta do like a live. We gotta do like live reaction to the debates. We gotta do all that stuff. It would be so fun.
That'd be great.
Okay. Well, that's all that I had for today. Thanks for coming prepared. We got to record the dating show. So this episode's coming out on Sunday. We have a dating episode where we answer your dating questions every Wednesday. So if you have a dating question that you'd like to submit,
a little bit of a shorter episode, a little bit shorter, a little condensed.
If you'd like to submit a dating question, you can go to our Discord. That's bit.ly/crunch Discord, and you can submit a question in the Dating Corner channel, and we will answer them here on the show. And then finally, we do a bonus episode every Friday for our patrons, which is on patreon.com/thecrunch. For the break, everybody who is at the $5 a month level had access to the bonus show. Now that the break is over, it's all going back up to $10 a month. So I'm toying with leaving some things on the $5 a month level, but for the most part, it's all going to be back on the $10 a month level. So if you want that every Friday, $10 a month on Patreon, that's what we've got going on. We're back, baby.
We're back. It's going to be back. We got to do another commentary video.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Movie commentary. Those are so fun, man.
We should really do Emperor's New Groove because I think
that's it. That's what we're gonna do.
I do think that one would be fun because it's on Disney Plus.
If you have any other ideas for live reaction, for commentary reaction, bit.ly/crunch Discord, that's where you can talk to us. If you want to talk to us, that's the best way to do it. Twitter's hit or miss, all that stuff. Instagram's hit or miss. Discord is the place.
That's the spot. Patrick, do you have anything else for the people?
Make sure that you pray for me that I don't develop a heart condition during GrTwenty. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for listening. Please pray for us. We will be praying for you, and we'll see you all next time.